So I got a call to a house that wasn't cooling down. It was about 80 degrees in the house, and the air coming out was 70. That had some nitwit come out telling the lady she needs a new unit, that the fan wasn't operating at its highest efficiency. So from what I understand, he was messing with the fan speeds. So I get there and I see the terminals in that control board. He had it that the lowest fan speed will come on a call for cool. Alright, fans on. Now let's get a reading to see if it had changed at all. After getting the fan motor situated, this is what we got now. I'm not really happy about this. The TXV is not opening. You can tell you have some subcooling. I know subcooling is kind of low, but the line set's 10 foot, R22, whatever. They got 36 evap. It's kind of low. The temperature, the suction line temperature is 80. That's really just reading the temperature of the house. The temperature of the house was pretty hot. It was 80 degrees. There's not enough refrigerant to absorb the heat. That's why that number is there. So the TXV is not opening. So I tried putting that bulb in 110 degree water to open up the valve. No luck. So I've done the liberty of highlighting everything. This is still the same pressure reading. But so that 70 degree that you see at the bottom, supply air temp, I have a probe at a vent that was reading the discharge air coming out. And the 80 degree temperature that you see on the suction line, that's pretty much the return air of the home. So you have a 10 degree temp difference. You usually want 14 to 20. Now with this being 10 SEER and R22, 14 is probably going to be the best you can get, but it's still ridiculously low. You need to get the number up higher. So instead of adding refrigerant like an idiot, you should really try to get that TXV working. So I got 110 degree water, put it in the bulb. TX valve was still not opening. So the next course of action is to unplug the condenser fan to get the condenser fan up, the refrigerant higher on the condenser side. So if that TXV is working right, the pressure on the evap side will stay the same. And so I've done that. I unplugged the condenser fan, and the evap pressure is not the same. So the TXV is not doing its job. Another way of testing for a TXV is to just unplug the condenser fan, and the TXV should just try to monitor that pressure, because all what the TXV does is just try to maintain superheat. So, yeah. So right now I'm recovering the refrigerant. Nobody was here to get me this morning. You know how it goes. So I had to take the power out of the furnace and use that power for the reclaiming machine. So we're getting all this stuff down, and this is what we'll be replacing today. It's TXV. So we got a nitrogen set up. We're gonna purge while we braise. So let's start from the top there. After I got done brazing, I put nitrogen in the system and let it stand for 10 minutes. Pressure held, dumped the nitrogen out, put the system on a vacuum. I figured I might as well clean the condenser while it's on a vacuum. So I just cleaned it. Wasn't really too bad, just sprayed water and I used a condenser brush and just got all this stuff out of there. Alright, we got 120. It's been holding for 10 minutes. Standing micron test is good. Now let's break the system refrigerant. So that same refrigerant took out earlier, I'm putting it back in. So this job went really well. I was recording everything on my Testo app with refrigerant pressures and everything, and I don't have proof to show the display to how good the system is running, but everything was running great. I had a 20-degree temp split on the return and supply. Everything looked good. Evaporator temperature was up higher. The superheat was much better. It was 10 superheat. The lady came home at around like 2 o'clock, and that's when she was, like a helicopter behind my back, watching everything I do. So, yeah, I thought I was recording it on my phone, but I wasn't. But, yeah, the job went real well. She's happy.